Well, in a way, I think that the attempts by conservatives in the Congress to make voting more difficult and suppress registration and and to get information about voting is not consistent with uh, the thrust of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So, to that degree, they're in conflict. Uh, what we want to do is make voting, first of all, in those days, people of color could not vote. And they were totally serious about it since a lot of people died as a result of this. Well, yeah, I was lobbying him. We were trying to get him to go along with this, and Lyndon was supporting. I think it was the Vietnam War then, and he needed the support of the few black members in the Congress at that time and the progressives. Which included many of these members that were with us in this activity, and he was trying to get us to support the Vietnam War in exchange for him supporting the defense of people that were trying to register to vote, because that's a federal violation, and the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice could act on that, and that's what we were trying to get him to do. There were people that couldn't vote. They were precluded from voting. And in the South, there was violence accompanied with it, or you could lose your job. You could get your house burned down, or anything could happen. And so there was then in the 60s there weren't as many people voting as are voting now, but now we have this problem that people now have forgotten the history of the past, and they're taking voting for granted. There's nobody going to intimidate you or threaten your job or arrest you on false charges. Registering people without educating people, they don't know who to vote for, and they're mostly doing what they're being told to do, but they don't really understand the difference between the person they voted for and the person they didn't vote for. I remember when this was a few years back, because I was on the west side on Epworth, and I remember on election day, because I went down all the streets and registered, got everybody registered, committed to vote, and I met this guy, and I remembered him. I think he lived on Colfax, and I said, "Did you vote today?" And he said, "No." He said, I said, "Why not?" He said, "Well, you told me to get registered. You didn't tell me to vote." And I couldn't believe that. I never forgot that. But that's exactly what he told me. He said, I didn't remember anything about the voting part. And I said, well, you still got time to do it, and I wish you would. And I gave him a slate and so forth. Well, the difference between a fascist society and a democratic society is that you choose who your leaders are. And that's what makes the election of Barack Obama so important. And now it makes his re-election so important. And there's a great effort to make sure that people remember that he's the first African American that was chosen not by African Americans, but by a majority of all the people.